Today we're working on the 2019 Nissan Pathfinder. The symptom we're trying to solve today is that the exhaust smokes on startup, and then it also smokes a little bit while you're driving it. Also, the other evidence we have is that the engine consumes oil far faster than it should. I don't have the exact mileages, but this car they've been having to add sometimes as much as 2 quarts because it goes low faster than they expect it to. So what we're going to try and do to address this issue is we're going to replace the PCV valve. We are thinking that the PCV valve is sticking open and it's sucking excessive oil and oil vapors through the valve cover and then burning them. We think that's what's causing the smoke. We are not missing any coolant at all. The coolant level stays perfect, so we don't think it's a head gasket. So for this video, we're going to go through how to change the PCV valve. This is a look at your engine bay. PCV valve is deep in this cavity. Okay, you can reach it, but first we got to get this box out of the way. The way we're going to do that is there's 2 clips here. Press down and pull the box forward. Also here, same deal. Press down while you pull the box forward. You can release both those clips, and this whole junction box will pull right out of the way for you. And then now, we can get a closer look at what's back here. This is your PCV valve. Right there. It's plastic and it threads into the plastic valve cover. So to give you a view from further back, that's what you're looking at. So we got to get that hose clamp off that PCV hose, lift the hose off, then that'll give us access. It should give us just enough access back there. You do have a little room to work, which is nice for a change. We'll be able to unscrew that PCV valve, thread a new one in. Can't really fit the camera and my hand and the pliers in there at the same time. But what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna reach in there with a very small pair of pliers, squeeze that hose clamp to release it, and lift it up on that hose. Okay, so that's the goal right there, to get that clamp a little bit higher. So the way I did that was reaching in with a small set of pliers like this. You can fit in the palm of your hand. I reached around this side with my left hand because that seemed to be the only way I could really get my hand in there. And then I've got the pliers vertically, right? So by feeling around with my fingers about the orientation of the clamp, I brought these down on the top of that clamp, squeezed to open the clamp, lifted the clamp straight up. So it's a little tricky to do, but you can do it. Just reaching around that left side. So now I'll reach around the left side again. Take hold of that hose. Hopefully lift it right off that PCV. And it's now off the PCV valve. Next thing we're gonna do is get a ratchet in there with a 23mm socket to take that off. Here's our new valve. I'll put a link in this in the description if you want to buy one online. And we have limited space, we already know, right? So this is 23mm across. And so what I've chosen to do to keep this shorter is I've got a 3/8 ratchet. I've got a 3/8 to 1/2 inch socket adapter and a 23mm socket. So now, again with the left hand, I should be able to reach in around there. I should have enough room to work based on what I'm looking at there and be able to work that thing loose. So it did not take very much force to get it started. So rather than keep the whole ratchet in there, I'm gonna get just this socket now and just use that with my fingers. This is the old PCV. Definitely see some sludge on there. I can't really tell for sure if it's sticking open or not. The rule I was always told before was your PCV valve should rattle when you shake it. This one doesn't. This one does shake, and you hear it rattle. So that would lead me to believe that whatever is inside this valve in the new one is free floating, is moving and functional, and this one, nothing rattles in it. So whether this is gummed open or gummed shut, it would seem that this is not working anymore and is defective. So now I'll take the new one, I'll twist it in finger tight. I'll make sure it's tight enough by hand with this. I'll probably put the ratchet on this again just to give it a slight turn, just to make sure it's fully seated. This is a plastic valve going into a plastic valve cover, so you want to be careful not to over tighten it. But I will put the ratchet on it slightly, like I said, just to make sure it's snug. And then we're going to just reach down, push that hose back on, reach in with our pliers again, move that clamp back down. And of course, your last step is going to be to replace this box back on those tabs. So it's just going to line them both up, press in, and that's it. It is a little tedious, but it's not a terrible job. So once you've done all of that, hopefully this will resolve the smoke condition and also resolve the oil consumption condition. Thanks for watching.